Hello students, we have discussed about subsets and next is a power set. After defining subset, we are defining a power set. So what is power set? Power set. Power set means first when a set is given, we have to write all the subsets of given set. So when we make the collection or when we write that all the subsets as a set, so that becomes a power set. The collection of all subsets of a given set are called power set. A collection of all the subsets or the collection of all subsets of a given set. The collection of all the collection of all subsets of A, the collection of all subsets of set A is called power set. Is called power set of A. Power set of A. The collection of all subsets. When a set is given, we have to write all the subsets of a given set. When we write all the subsets in a set, again we write it as a set, then that becomes a subset or the power set of A. So we denote this by denoted by P of A. We denote it by P of A. That means power set of A. P of A. Power set of A. So if I give an example, A is equal to 1 comma 2, so I can write all the subsets as we know that empty set is one subset and power set whole set is one more subset. So I can write this subset as empty set containing element 1, set containing element 2 and whole set. So if I write all that subsets in as a set, that becomes a power set. If I write all the subsets as a set, then that becomes the power set. So A is a set, then power set will be set of all, the set of all subset. The collection means the set of all null set containing one element, set containing two element and whole set. So this null set containing one element, set containing two elements, set containing one more element. So these four are the subsets of this given set. So I have written that as a set. In all that elements inside the set mean that become the collection of all subsets of given set. So this becomes the power set of A. This is called the power set of A. This is the power set of A. Then how many elements or how many subsets are possible for a given set? That is the main question now. So power set we can write if we know what is how many subsets are there for the given set. So now you can see here how many elements are there in the given set. 2 elements are there. So how many subsets are possible? 1, 2, 3, 4 subsets are possible. So in general, how many subsets are possible for a given set? Power set means when we write all the subsets in as a set, that becomes a power set. So mainly we should know which are the subsets. So to write subset, how many subsets are possible for a given set? That is very important. So how many subsets are possible for a given set? How to calculate how many subsets are possible for a given set? How to calculate that? To calculate that, what we have to do is I'll give one more example. I have given one example, 2 elements. How many subsets are possible? 4 subsets are possible for that. So I'll give one more example. I will give one more example of 3 elements and I'll write the power set of this. That means all the subsets. One is empty set, one is containing one element, then containing two elements, then a given set itself, these are becomes a subset. So one containing a empty set and whole set, given set is a two subsets, and containing one elements and containing two tuples a b, b c and ac. So how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So if there are three elements, there is how many elements are there? How many subsets are possible? If there are three elements, the number of subsets possible is 8. If there are two elements, number of subsets possible is 4. So in generally, how we can write 2? 4 can be written as 2 square. 4 can be written as, previous example, 4 can be written as number of element is 2, so 2 square. And here it is 3 elements, so how many subsets are possible? 8 subsets are possible. So 8 subsets are possible means 8 can be written as a 2 cube, 2 to the power 3 elements. So now you can say what is the number of subsets possible if there are 4 elements, 2 to the power 4. If there are 5 elements, 2 to the power 5. If there are 6 elements, 2 to the power 6. If there are 7 elements, 2 to the power 7. 2 to the power 7. If there are 8 elements, 2 to the power 8. That means the number of subsets possible is in generally 2 to the power number of elements present in the given set. 2 to the power the number of elements present in the given set. So in these two are the examples I have given. Now generally you can write the number of, note you write, note the number of, if A is a set with the elements, if A is a set, if A is a set with the elements, with the how many elements? With m elements. If A is a set with m elements, then the number of subsets then the number of subsets is equal to 2 to the power m, is equal to 2 to the power m. This you should remember always. Number of subsets possible is 2 to the power number of elements in the given set. If it is as m element, 2 to the power m. If there are 10 elements, 2 to the power 10. If there are 18 elements, 2 to the power 18. If there are 100 elements, 2 to the power 100. So this is the number of subsets. So number of subset means the number of elements present in the power set. Number of subset means the number of elements present in the power set. So this is about the power set. Next is a universal set. So what is universal set means? So power set, you know, the set of all subsets of a given set is called the power set. Next, what is universal set? A set is called a universal set for which all the other sets are subsets. It's a biggest set. Universal set is a biggest set, is a set for which all the other sets are subsets. Universal set means a set universal set, a set for which all the sets are subsets. A set for which all the sets are subsets, called universal set. And denoted by capital letter U. So what is the universal set? Means a set for which all the sets are subsets. So if you consider any set, any number of sets, so for each and every set there is a biggest set, so that is called the universal set. So we cannot write a universal set, we cannot say it is a real number, because we can take uh, elements, what alphabets also as an element. So biggest set is called the universal set. So for that all the other sets are subsets are called the universal set. So this is just one definition of a universal set, and it is also denoted by U. If it is given universal set, so that becomes a universal set. If it is not given, suppose if I say set of what is that, a set of numbers 2, 4, 6, 8 if I consider. So for that, which is a universal set I can consider? So universal set, either I can consider set of even numbers I can consider, or set of real numbers I can consider, natural numbers I can consider, integers I can consider, rational numbers. So if it is not given, we have to consider ourselves. Suppose it is given the set of all triangles, or set of all what is that, set of all right angles triangles, and the set of all isosceles triangles. Suppose if it is given set of all right angle triangles and a set of all isosceles triangles, two sets are given, then which is the universal set we can prefer? The universal set we can prefer is set of triangles, because for both the this one, what set of triangles is the biggest set of triangle is the biggest set. So from the triangle we are separating right angle triangles and isosceles triangles. Therefore isosceles triangles, and for the right angle triangles, not only for that, equilateral triangle, for any triangle, the biggest set is set of triangles. Biggest set is the set of triangle. So set of triangles becomes the universal set. So this is just, you should know what is that universal set, that we are not studying deeply about universal set, but you should know for the given set which is the universal set. So I'll give one more example that you have to write. If A is equal to one problem I'll give. A is equal to, let this is given, a set A is given, which of the following statements are incorrect and why? Which are the following? Which are the following statements are incorrect and why? Incorrect and why? So I'll write one by one. The first one is now you know all the symbols. The first one is set 3, 4 is contained in A. Contained in A. When we see the set, 1 is one element, 2 is one more element. So this is also one element. Complete, this is also one element, and 5 is one more element. When we see 1 is one element, 2 is one element, this 3, 4 is also one element, because that is in the set. That is in the set. So this 3, 4 becomes the element. So 5 is also element. But now it is given, we know that always element belongs to A, or elements belongs to set. Element belongs to set, but set is contained in A. If we do not consider this, then we can say this is a set contained in A, or subset of A. But when we see this set, this 3, 4 is not a set now, this is an element. So element belongs to A is not possible. Element belongs to A is possible. Element is contained in A is not possible. You should remember always, element belongs to A and set contained in A. That is the that we have learned. set is contained in one more set, element is belongs to that. Now 1 is a element, 2 is a element, this complete is one element and 5 is one more element. So now this is the element contained or subset of A is not possible, so this is not correct. Incorrect, because is a element of is an element of A, is not a set, that is element of A. If I write like this, 3 comma 4 belongs to A, now it is correct because it is incorrect because it is element, but here now it is correct. Why it is correct? Because it is element belongs to set is correct. Correct. What is the reason? Again, because this is element belongs to A is possible. Next, now set of, now we know that this is element, so element belongs to A is correct. Now this is element contained in A is incorrect. Now it is a set of that element. Set of element means this becomes a big set, so that is contained in A is correct. Is correct because inside it is an element, so when we write it, it becomes a subset. So this is correct because 3 comma 4 is an element, so element inside the flower bracket, that becomes a set, so set is contained in A, so it is a correct one. Next, 1 is contained in A, 1 is a subset of A, incorrect because 1 is a subset of A is incorrect because because 1 is an element. One is an element of A. One is an element of A. Next, after that, I'll give some other. One, two, 5, that is a subset of A. Subset of A. Now it is correct because 1, 2 and 5 are the element, so it becomes a subset. Subset is contained in A. Is correct. Is correct. Next, it is 1, 2, 5 belongs to A. Now it is incorrect because why it is incorrect? These are the elements or these are the set. It is not. This is not belongs to A. This is contained in A, so it is incorrect. Next is 1, 2, 3 is contained in A. So now this is also incorrect because we cannot write 1, 2, 3 is 3 is inside this. So this is not element. So it is incorrect. This is incorrect. Next is 5 is contained in A, so this is a correct one because every empty set is subset of every set, so it is the correct one. Next, so these are the problems we can see. Hello students, we are discussing about this problem. So this Now this is a subset. We know that empty set is a subset of every set, so this will be subset of A is the correct one. If I write empty set belongs to A, so now this is not this is incorrect, because empty set is not a set, empty set is not an element. Always we say element belongs to the set, so this will be incorrect. Why it is incorrect? Because it is incorrect because why it is incorrect? Empty set is not an element. Is not an element, so this is incorrect. Next one, if I write like this, set of all 5, so now we can say now this is a set of empty set. So set of empty set is set of empty set contained in A. Set of empty set is contained in A. So whether it is the correct one now, whether it is correct or incorrect, empty set. So if I write anything inside the flower bracket, so that becomes element. If I write anything inside the flower bracket, so that becomes a element. So now this becomes the element of A, but that is not element. So this is not correct. So it is incorrect. Why it is incorrect? Because in that null set or empty set is not a set, so this is not an element, so it is a set, it is not an element. So we cannot write like this when it we cannot write like this also, because this is not an element. A set is not an element of any other set, so that is also incorrect. So this is about some of the problems given in the textbook. So you just go through that or write all these, and I have given some of the problems to write in the set builder form and other forms. So that are the main problems. So next I'll give some other problems to write the power set. Write the power set of given sets. But what you have to do is, while writing the power set means set of all subsets. So first you have to write the subset, then you write all that inside the flower bracket, that becomes a power set. So write the power set of power set PQR and XY. So this is a homework problem to write the power set. So first write the subsets and power set. Now you can see how many subsets should be possible for these 4 elements means 2 to the power 4. That means 16 elements you have to write. So 3 elements means 2 to the power 3. 2 elements means 2 to the power 2. So here there should be a 4 subsets, it should be 8 subsets, and there should be 16 subsets. So in that, common subset is one empty set, and the set itself is a subset for the given set. So when you write all these inside the bracket, then that becomes the power set. So these are the types of sets. These are the types of sets. Now we discuss about the Venn diagram. Venn diagram. Venn diagram. So first we see what is Venn diagram. So usually when we write some of the problems, or suppose there is a problem, to simplify that, usually suppose it is a world means in the world these many populations. So when what we consider, we can consider that as one rectangle or one circle. So I can say in the world there are many people. So if that is the problem, so I can write the world as one rectangle or any other shape, and people as or town or people as some circles. That means any problem can be represented by using any mathematical shapes, rectangle or circles. So here also by using rectangles and circles, we can we can represent a given set. Represent a given set, we can represent a universal set, because universal set is a big set. We can represent a universal set, and for the universal set there are small subsets, that is called a subsets. That subsets can be represented by a circle. So what is that? Venn diagram is the relationship, or most of the relationship in mathematics can be represented by using rectangles or circles. These by means of diagram. So these consist of rectangles and circles, and that is called the Venn diagram. Most of the problems are represented by means of diagrams. So in this, if we use rectangles and circles, so that is called the Venn diagram. So Venn diagram. In the Venn diagram, universal set is represented by the rectangles. Universal set is represented by the rectangle, and all the subsets are represented by the circles. By the circles. So how we can represent is, universal set is represented by rectangle. Universal set is represented by rectangle. So this is indicated by universal set. Is a universal set. It's a big set. So it contains many elements. We don't know which are the elements. And all the subsets are represented. It has many subsets, not only one subset, many subsets, that is represented by circles. If it is A, B, C. So if A has 2 elements, 2 and 3. If it has 3, if it has only 1. So this is a universal set. It may contain 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Universal set means big set. It contains all the elements. From that we are taking a small elements, means that is represented by the circle. So a Venn diagram is a diagram used to represent universal set and subset, or to represent a set by means of rectangles and circles. So this is just a definition about Venn diagram. So after that, we in the case of real numbers or natural numbers, we know how to multiply, or how to multiply, or how to add, or how to subtract. All that we have studied in the case of what is that, real numbers, or natural numbers, or any numbers, real numbers. But now we are discussing about the sets. So here also some of the operations, so addition, subtraction, multiplication, division are called the operations on real numbers. Totally we call it as operations. So now here in the set, in the case of what is that, sets also, we can do the operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, that can be done here also. But the name is not, it is addition of sets, it is not multiplication of sets. There are some other names for that. So first one operation is union of given sets, union of sets. So first one is operations on sets. Operations on sets. So in that, first one is union of sets. First one is union of sets. So what is union of sets? If there are two sets A and B, or let A and B are two sets, then the union of A and B is denoted by, let A and B are two sets. If let A and B are two sets, the union of A and B is denoted by the new union of A and B is denoted by A union B. It is not universal at all. It is not U. It is just a symbol U. A union B. A union B is a set of all elements which belongs to A or to B or to both. Is the set of all elements, set of all the elements which belongs to A or to B or to both, or to both. That is, A union B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to A or x belongs to B. So this is the definition of union of sets. So what is that union of set? A and B are any two sets. Then the union of A and B is denoted by A union B. This is a symbol of union. A union B is, what is that definition actually? Is a set of all elements which belongs to A or B or to both. Set, or in the set form we can write it as A union B is a set of all elements of all the elements x such that x belongs to A or x belongs to B. X belongs to A or x belongs to B. So this is the definition of A union B. So what does this indicate? If there are two sets, A has some element and B has some other element, then the union has all the elements that belongs to A and B. That means we have to write all the elements of A and B together. We have to write all the elements of A and B together. So if I take example A and B is, if I take A as one set and B has one more set, if I take A is equal to so these two are the sets A and B, then A union B is A union B is all the elements of A and B and both. That means we have to write all the elements of A and B together. I have written all the elements together. So this becomes A union B. If we write all the elements together, so that becomes A union B. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 4, 5. So here 2, 3 and 4 are common elements. So I cannot write the common element two times because in a set we won't write common element two times. We write always once. Therefore, A union B is a set of all elements that belongs to A and B. That means writing all the elements together. Writing all the elements together. So writing all the elements together means if it is repeated, no need to write that elements twice. So this is A union B. So from the definition, how we can write is A union B, we can write it as set of all x such that x belongs to A. A union, if an element belongs to if X belongs to A union B, this implies X belongs to A or X belongs to B. X belongs to B. That means either it belongs to A or B. That should belongs to that. Or if X does not belongs to A union B, means that means what? Any element is not in the union means that may be in any one. Any element is not. Suppose if I take one element, now this example I cannot consider. I'll take one other. First I'll write this. X does not belongs to A and X does not belongs to B. If it is not in A means either that is not in A or not in B. If it is not in the union means either that is not in A or not in B. If it is there in the A and B, that should be in the union. Any element is there in the set means that should be in the union. If that any element is not in the union means there won't be that element in the given set. So these are the main things. So if I consider any element 10, if I consider any element 10, so 10 is not in the union, correct? 10 is not in the union. Then what is the meaning? 10 is not in A, 10 is not in B, 10 is not in B. So if I consider element as 5, so 5 is in the union, 5 is in the union, correct? 5 is in union. So what is the meaning? Either 5 is in A or 5 is in B. We have 5 is in B. So if I consider 6, so 6 in the union. So then if it is in the union mean that should be either in A or either B. So 6 is here. If I consider 2 is the element, one of the element, now 2 is in the union. If it is in the union means that should be in A or B. Now it is here in A. If I consider 9, 9 is not in the union. If it is not in the union, that won't be in any of the set. That this is the meaning. It is not in both A and B. So this is the definition of union of two sets. Union of two sets. So say this union can be represented by means of Venn diagram also. Union is represented by Venn diagram also. I have given an example. So not only one example, we can write many examples. So we can represent this union by means of Venn diagram also. So the Venn diagram I can write is this is for union. I am writing general union. So union, first it is represents universal set. It is not union, it is universal set. And the union means there should be two. There may be some elements common. So A union B is represented by this whole thing. This whole region, if I shade, this represents A union B. This is A union B. So this is about A union B. So I can give one more example. This is a very important Venn diagram. Draw this Venn diagram. So I'll give one more example. So I have given I have taken A and B are two sets. So A union B can be written as A union B is all the elements of A and B all the elements of A and B. A union B is all the elements of A and B. So this is about union of sets. So we'll discuss the properties later. So this is only about the union of sets, mean that is we are writing all the elements together. Thank you.